This is on a Suzuki SJ13. Actually, it's like the Suzuki Samurai, but this preceded it before. I don't know, it's also called the Jimny 1300. I had this vehicle since it was new. And this car, you can see the Japanese writing on it. It's actually right-hand drive. I had this since, almost new. I think, well, it was maybe a couple years old. It's in 86 I bought it, and it was in 85. Maybe it was a year old. But I'm taking out these screws on the side of these hinges, and I've noticed there's probably been people with Samurais trying to take these off. And actually these Jeeps, even though they're very lightweight, they're probably a good thing to get, because in the future gasoline is going to be so much money, and this has a little 1.34 cylinder. You can also put a Volkswagen 1.6 diesel in it, and gets like 40-50 miles to the gallon. Runs what do you call it, the biodiesel, or just plain vegetable oil. So these are probably smart to have. Now, I've never really been bothering with this thing. I would drive a couple other cars, and I've had this, and I've always kept it registered and insured all the time, but I just don't use it. So I was taking these bolts out, and I want to point out, I used a very heavy-duty Phillips head screwdriver, and it was attached with an impact wrench. And I tried to do it manually, and I couldn't get these out. I tried a hand impact wrench, couldn't get these out. These things were in here for, like, 8 years and years and years. Well, 85 to 2012, right? So 17 years. So they're in there. Now I got two of them out, one down here, one down here, one up here, and this one I just pulled out. This came out easy, and I'm going to point out a method. Now, I already used a half-inch drive impact with a Phillips head that fit in here, a large Phillips head on a socket that fit in here perfectly. It did not take it out. It's ridiculous, this thing. And I was thinking, my God, I probably, so here I got the tap set out and everything just ready to go to town. But I picked up some of these easy outs with the reverse drill bits. So I drilled into this one, like probably about that far with the little one first. Then I hit it with the next size up. Now this is after using impacts on these things and everything. These things are in here. They just pop right out. I didn't even have to use the easy out. So how this works, obviously. And I hate these easy, well, because I always had experience with them breaking. So a lot of times I wind up drilling them, and I always have, like, this is a metric tap set and everything. So, I wind up tapping things, or, making repairs with these things. Like, you tap out a bigger size, and you use this special steel insert. I don't use Healy coils, I use steel inserts. So I started messing around with this because I think it's good to know things like this, and I actually do know a lot of shit like this besides other things with books, numbers and all that other stuff. So what I started to put in there, I'm going to replace them all with these stainless steel. These are from McMaster. McMaster, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but probably people might be looking at this video probably know, because they deal with mechanical things. And on a Suzuki Jeep, I don't know what the size is. Hold on a second. Well, on the Suzuki Jeep, it's the size, I think it's M8. And they're 20 millimeter long, so that's the metric size. And so I'm going to use stainless steel on this. I'll probably put a little stainless steel washer on it, not use these Phillips heads. These are going to be just slotted heads like this, but pretty thick. Or if I don't like this, I'll probably use a regular, ratchet, like, in other words, a metric head bolt. But you could take these doors off pretty easily. There's a way to actually cut the hinge, and you can lift them up and then lift out and all this type of stuff. I'm not going to bother with that, but I wanted to pull off the fenders and examine what's underneath here, and kind of go over this thing. So I'm going to post on the videos on this here and there. But to get these out, I swear to God, probably some people, I'm figuring Samurais are going to be worth more money, or people are going to get back into them again. And this is actually an SJ13. You can see the Japanese writing, Jimny 1300, it's an 85. It's the same thing as a Samurai, except it has, the axles are a little bit more narrow. And instead of having, I forget the other gear ratio on a Samurai, I think it's a 373. This is a 410. And the other thing I like about it, this actually has a rebuilt transmission and a rebuilt transfer case from Amico a while back, but it's a lifetime guarantee. And since I've had this a million years, the one thing I like about these SJ413s, SJ413s, is that the transfer case has the emergency brake on it. So in other words, if you're locked into four-wheel drive, you put on your emergency brake, you're not just locking your back brakes, you lock all four wheels at the same time. That's a very good feature, actually. So, it's very stupid they don't make cars like this anymore. Basically, this is like the simplest freaking car going. People throw what if I get a new car, I'm gonna get a '59 Dodge convertible restored. I'm not gonna screw around. Any new cars, I hate them. They're electronic marvels. The first time there's a little electronic magnetic pulse in the air, they're not going to work. I have several vehicles that'll work. This is one of them. Harley Davidson's another one, which I got new. And an El Camino 78 is another one, which I've had for like over 20 years. So, you can drive your Lexuses. I think they're electronic junk, including anything made in the United States that's brand new. It's a pile of garbage. But, the easy outs, you just put them in here if you need to, and you got the, this is not the easy out handle, but it works the same thing on a tap and die set, So I'd recommend you get the reverse thread, the easy outs in reverse drill bits. This thing just came out, and I swear to God, you know how long I was working on this garbage with a impact wrench? And it's up to like 200 foot-pounds. They had a Phillips head that fit in here perfectly. It was a large Phillips head. Would not come out. I got 2 of these out of 16. All 14 other ones wouldn't come out. First time I tried this reverse drill bit, I didn't even use the easy out. This stupid thing comes right out. It's amazing. I never used these damn things before, and I do a lot of mechanical stuff sometimes, so. But this is what I'm replacing them with, McMaster stainless steel, which are M8, size M8. I think that's 8, 125 thread. It's a standard thread, right? Millimeters metric, 20 millimeters long. And stainless steel with a little grease on it. Shouldn't rust, because the grease will be on the steel. Yeah, and I do know about dissimilar metals because when you have stainless steel touching steel, sometimes there's a problem with that, but not in a non-marine environment. So, but anybody trying to take these bolts off of these Suzukis it's a bitch and a half. I'd recommend this thing. Reverse drill bits and easy outs. Works great.